You might be smarter. Your family might come from privilege. Your daddy might own the company. But you will not outwork me. You might have connections, money, or influence handed to you on a silver platter, but this top spot, that number one position that belongs to me, not because I had it easier, but because not one of you can outwill me. You may have been born with better genetics, better looks, better odds, but you cannot outdesire me. You can't outdetermine me. You can't outsacrifice me. You didn't bleed for it like I did. You didn't go through hell and still keep pushing. You didn't build from the ground up with nothing but grit in your chest and fire in your gut. You weren't forged in the same furnace. Because here's the truth. The bigger your dream is, the harder you've got to grind. And I know what it's like to have nothing, small beginnings, no money, no name, no resources, just a dream and a decision that no matter what, I'm not going to stop. See, you can have more talent, you can have more luck, but I will outlast you. I will out-hustle you. I will out-heart you. I'm not here to dabble. I'm here to dominate. This isn't about comfort. It's about obsession. It's about showing up when motivation dies. It's about never giving anyone the chance to outwork me ever. Because I don't need perfect conditions. I just need a reason. And I've got mine. You say you want success? But let me ask you, how much discomfort can you swallow? How many mornings are you willing to wake up before the world even blinks? How many nights are you willing to work while everyone else unwinds? Because the truth is, most people don't want success. They want convenience. They want to look like they're chasing something without bleeding for it. But not you. If you've made it this far, something inside you refuses to settle. You might not come from money. You might not have connections. You might not have a fancy degree or the right last name, but you've got something more dangerous than all of that. You've got the will to fight. And that will, that's what builds empires out of ashes. I've seen guys with everything, talent, money, pedigree, lose to the ones with nothing but obsession, because obsession doesn't sleep. Obsession doesn't clock out. I remember a time when I had no plan, no guidance, and no backup. Just a dream so big it scared me, and a decision that I would never stop moving toward it no matter what it cost. And it did cost. I missed birthdays. I lost friends. I gave up comfort. There were nights I collapsed on the floor, wondering if it would ever pay off. But I kept going, because pain past regret doesn't. That's where most people break. They feel the pain and back off. They see others getting ahead and start pointing fingers. He got lucky. She had help. Let me tell you something. The weak version of you loves excuses because it avoids accountability. But the strong version, the one who's building quietly in the shadows, that version doesn't complain, it competes. It doesn't whine, it wins. Success doesn't come to the most gifted, it comes to the most committed. You want to be respected. Outwork, everyone. You want to be remembered. Be relentless. Show up when nobody's watching. Stay focused when everyone else is relaxing. And when you get knocked down, because you will get back up and swing harder, no coach, no mentor, no motivational speaker can save you if you're still lying to yourself. And here's the harsh truth. You don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. You get what you sacrifice for. You get what you bleed for when nobody else claps and you keep going anyway. So don't ask, is this worth it? Ask, am I? Because greatness isn't something you stumble into. It's something you earn rep by rep, day by day, decision by decision. And when you finally step into that moment, the one where it all pays off, you'll know it wasn't talent or luck that brought you there. It was you, the version of you who never quit, who never folded, who never waited for perfection, who paid the price in full, with interest. I didn't get here because I was the most talented I wasn't born with gifts that set me apart. I didn't have the perfect mentor, the perfect connections, or the perfect environment. I got here because I made a decision, and then I kept showing up long after everyone else stopped. That's what separates the winners from the talkers, the daily choice to grind. When it's boring, when it's hard, when it's invisible, and when it damn near breaks you. This isn't about hype. This isn't about motivation. This is about lifestyle. You don't rise off potential, you rise off repetition. I remember those early mornings walking into the warehouse before the sun even came up. No music, no applause, just me, a cold concrete floor and a broom in my hand. And you know what? I swept that floor like it was the most important job in the world. Because I knew how you do anything is how you do everything. If I was gonna sweep, I'd sweep with pride. If I was gonna lift, I'd lift with fury. If I was gonna study, I'd study like my future depended on every single word, because it did. That's the grind. Not flashy, not sexy, just real, just relentless. Most people give 60% and call it a full effort. They show up when they feel like it. They lift until it hurts and then stop. They plan until it gets hard and then quit. But me, I give 120% even when I've got 40% left in the tank. Because I've trained my mind to stop negotiating with weakness. I don't ask myself how I feel. I ask myself what needs to be done. I don't wait for inspiration. I operate from standards. And that's the game changer right there. Discipline is louder than motivation. You want to win, then turn your grind into your identity. Let the habits run so deep that skipping a rep feels unnatural. Let showing up on your worst days become your default setting. There was a time I had to work 3 jobs and still made it to the gym at midnight. Not because I had time, because I made time. While others were watching Netflix, I was studying skills that would one day feed my family. While they scrolled their feeds, I built mine post by post, brick by brick, lesson by lesson. I remember getting home exhausted, joints aching, eyes burning, and still pulling out the notebook to write down what I learned that day. Because even when the body was failing, the grind didn't stop. That's what this life demands. Daily domination, not weekend bursts, not New Year resolutions, real growth, real pressure, real wins earned the long, painful, unseen way. So don't bring me your excuses. Don't tell me you're tired. I've been tired for years. Don't tell me life's not fair. I made peace with that the moment I realized no one was coming to save me. You either grind or you get ground down. There's no middle. Do you want success? Then act like it. Live like it. Sweat like it. Wake up early like it. Work late like it. Study like it's survival. Because it is. Your future is built in what you do when no one's watching. And if you don't learn to dominate your day will dominate you. That's the grind. That's the truth. That's the difference between almost and always, between a try and a legacy. You want to know why most people never break through? It's not because they're not smart enough. It's not even because they're not working hard enough. It's because they haven't crossed the line from interest to obsession. They want success, but only if it's convenient. They want results, but only if it doesn't cost them sleep, comfort, or popularity. But greatness doesn't come to the interested, it comes to the obsessed. See, I don't just work hard, I live hard. I breathe this. I don't dip my toe in the water, I drown in it. I'm not here to blend in. I'm here to build something so massive that it shocks the system of everyone watching, and that requires obsession. The kind that keeps you up at night, the kind that makes people uncomfortable, the kind that separates you not just from the lazy, but even from the good. When I was just getting started, I knew I didn't have the connections. I wasn't from the right family. I wasn't the most gifted in the room. But I had something they didn't. I was willing to get weird for it. I skipped parties, turned down vacations, missed birthdays, not because I didn't care, but because I was locked in. I was building something nobody could see yet. And while they laughed, I trained. While they scrolled, I studied. While they waited for permission, I created my own momentum. I didn't need a green light. I was the green light. I remember days when my schedule looked like madness: up at 4:30 a.m., cold shower, deep work before sunrise, job from 9 to 5, gym from 6 to 8, study until midnight. And I did it again the next day, not because I had to, but because I couldn't not do it. I was obsessed with becoming a better version of myself. I was obsessed with closing the gap between where I was and where I knew I could be. That obsession gave me a motor that doesn't stall a fire, that doesn't fade a hunger that doesn't end. The truth: most people will never understand you when you're locked in like that. They'll call you crazy. They'll say you're too much, and that's okay. You're not here to be understood. You're here to be undeniable. You're here to do what others won't so you can live how others can't. If you're not being misunderstood, you're probably not dreaming big enough. You want to know you're on the right path when people start asking, why are you still working? Why are you still studying? Why are you still pushing when you already did enough? That's when you know you're separating. Because obsession doesn't clock out. It doesn't take holidays. It doesn't need balance. It becomes your balance. It's the reason you wake up, the reason you breathe, the reason you keep going when everything in you says stop. It's what makes you unrecognizable to your past self and unstoppable to your future enemies. This is how you rise above average. This is how you erase the weak version of yourself. You go all in. You go until it hurts, and then you go further. You grind until your routine looks insane to normal people. Because you're not trying to be normal. You're trying to be legendary. You know what obsession leads to? That one more rep, that one more call, that one more hour when everyone else already clocked out. Because once you're obsessed, you stop counting the cost and start stacking the effort. You start living by a code that says, if there's still breath in my lungs, there's still room for one more. I didn't build this mentality overnight. It came from years of seeing people fall short, not because they didn't care, but because they stopped just one rep too early. I remember watching a guy in the gym, strong, talented, genetically blessed. Every set he did exactly what the program said. No more, no less. Meanwhile, I wasn't gifted, I wasn't strong. But every time I hit the wall, I gave it one more. One more, even when my arms shook. One more, when my legs gave out. One more, when my mind screamed, stop. And over time, the guy with the gifts plateaued, and the guy with the one more mindset, he took the lead. That's the thing they don't tell you. Your breakthrough is never at rep 5. It's at rep 11. It's the call after 10 rejections. It's the day you show up when you're heartbroken, sleep deprived, and nobody's watching. It's always one more than you think you can give. That's where greatness lives, in the pain zone just past your breaking point. And here's the best part. One more is a choice. It's the most powerful decision in the world. It's the difference between almost and all in. And when you start to believe that your extra effort is the very thing that tilts the universe in your favor, everything changes. Every extra push becomes proof. I'm doing what others won't. I'm earning what others can't. This principle saved me. When I was broke and trying to build something from nothing, I'd wake up and tell myself, just one more move forward today. That's it. Just one more pitch, one more idea, one more attempt. And I didn't explode overnight, but I compounded day after day. And one day, everything broke through. This isn't a gimmick. It's a system, the one more system, and it's undefeated. Because most people stop being good enough, but you're not. Most people, and the moment you start stacking your one mores, you stop playing in the minor leagues. You start stepping into a league of your own, not because you're more talented, but because you're more consistent. This is the edge. This is the razor line between greatness and regret. And it's not a leap, it's one more step, again and again and again. And here's what you start to notice: when you live by one more, it gets hard. Not just physically, it gets mentally uncomfortable. The reps burn. The silence is loud. The progress is slow. That's when most people back off. That's when they say, I've done enough. But the strong version of you, it knows something most people don't comfort is a liar. Your comfort zone doesn't care about your future. It doesn't care about your greatness. It wants you soft, predictable, numb. But the life you want, it has never lived there. You don't find growth in the shallow end. You don't become unbreakable from within your blanket of ease. Growth demands pain. It demands pressure. It demands you choose discomfort when you have every excuse not to. I learned this lesson the hard way. I had a phase in my life when everything felt easy. I had a routine, a rhythm. I was showing up, checking the boxes, staying productive. But inside, I was stagnating. My soul was softening. Until one morning, after skipping a cold shower for the 10th day in a row, I looked in the mirror and said, "You've stopped growing." That same day, I reintroduced pain, not recklessly, deliberately. I started chasing it. Like a soldier craves the battlefield, cold showers, late workouts, early mornings, hard conversations, boring repetition. That pain woke me up, and it forged the next version of me. You don't have to be extreme. You just have to be consistent in discomfort. That's how you train your nervous system to stop fearing pressure and start craving the edge. Because discomfort is not punishment, it's preparation. It's life testing your readiness for the next level. The people you admire, they're not fearless. They just stopped running from pain and started shaking its hand. You have to lean into that burn, that friction, that boredom, because it's in those moments when nothing is sexy, no one is watching, and your body says quit, that your mind earns respect. Every act of deliberate discomfort tells your future. I'm serious. Every time you sit with fear instead of fleeing, every time you sweat in silence instead of basking in applause, you separate. You don't become elite by chasing what's easy. You become elite by mastering what's uncomfortable. That's where transformation lives. That's where strength is born. So if you're in pain right now, if you're uncomfortable, if you feel stretched good, stay there. Sit in it. Let it mold you because of that discomfort. It's not the enemy, it's the door. And most people never walk through it. But you're already halfway there. And once you've stepped through that door, once discomfort is no longer a threat but a training ground, there's only one way forward: total immersion, total obsession. Because greatness doesn't flirt with effort, it marries it. You can't part-time your way into a full-time legacy. Let me be brutally honest. Balance is a myth, at least, when you're chasing uncommon dreams. The world tells you to be well-rounded, to seek harmony, to not lose yourself in the process. But here's the truth. If you don't lose yourself in the mission, you'll never become the person capable of achieving it. The weak version of you wants a little of everything. The strong version wants all of one thing, and it's willing to sacrifice comfort, approval, even popularity to go get it. People will start calling you obsessed. Let them, because what they call obsession is actually a focus they've never experienced. It's hunger they've never tasted. It's a vision they can't comprehend. When you stop showing up to every party, when you train at 5 a.m. alone, when your calendar is packed and your priorities are non-negotiable, they'll say you've changed. And they're right, you have. I remember a phase where every friend I had started asking the same question: why are you always working? And my answer never changed: because I'm building something they can't yet see. Because I'm not here to be understood, I'm here to be undeniable. I didn't come this far to fit in. I came to rise. And that requires a different motor, a different fuel, a different identity. This isn't about burnout. This isn't about grinding until you collapse. It's about building a rhythm so aligned with your purpose that you don't want to slow down. It's about falling so in love with the process that rest becomes strategic, not seductive. That's obsession, not chaos, but clarity. If nobody thinks you're crazy, you're probably not dreaming big enough. If nobody misunderstands your intensity, your schedule, your silence, then maybe you're still living too close to average, because obsession isn't a flaw, it's a frequency. And the people who operate on it, they don't ask for permission. They don't need applause. They just execute again and again until the world has no choice but to pay attention. So go ahead, be unbalanced. Let the rest of the world chase normal while you chase mastery. Let them dabble while you dominate. Because the average loves balance, but legacy loves obsession. You've sacrificed sleep, you've bled in silence, you've lost friends, you've buried the weak voice that once told you to settle, you've killed comfort-starved excuses and trained obsession like a weapon. So now we arrive at the line, not just a metaphorical one, a real one. The line that separates legends from the forgotten, the doers from the dreamers. And here's the reality: if you don't dominate, you disappear. There is no middle, no gray area, no second place. Because in this world, nobody remembers the people who nearly made it. The ones who talked a big game but never executed, they vanish quietly, slowly, invisibly, while the ones who chose to dominate, their names echo. Their stories get told. They become impossible to ignore. You don't rise by hoping. You rise by deciding, by choosing domination when your legs are shaking and your chest is burning, by executing when nobody's watching, by making the call, lifting the weight, writing the page, showing the hell up, especially when your mind begs you not to. Let me tell you a truth: most people are too soft to hear. This world doesn't owe you recognition. It won't hand you a trophy because you tried hard. Effort without execution is delusion. Passion without persistence is just noise. Domination is the reward for the few who refuse to be average, not because they're naturally gifted, but because they made themselves relentless. Think of the moments you didn't give your all, the days you ghosted your own greatness. They don't haunt you because you failed, they haunt you because deep down you knew you had more. You knew there was a beast inside, but you let comfort cage it. Well, now you set that beast free. This is the moment where you become untouchable, where excuses die and identity is reborn, forged in fire, sweat, and focus. Domination isn't just about the win. It's about becoming so consistent, so disciplined, so damn undeniable that even your worst day crushes their best. It's waking up with fire in your eyes even when your body aches. It's pushing when they pause, training when they rest, studying when they scroll. It's choosing to become dangerous in a world that worships ease. Because domination is about owning your space so ruthlessly that nobody dares question if you belong. They just know you do. You want to build a legacy. Then you need to realize this: comfort is the death of greatness. Hesitation is the coffin, and comparison is the dirt they bury you in. So kill hesitation. Start a comparison. Bury your fears or be buried by them. The throne is there, but it won't wait for you. You don't need another speech. You don't need more motivation. You need to rise. You need to go all in. Right now, not tomorrow, not next week. Now. And if you don't, you disappear. Not all at once, but little by little. Your edge fades. Your spark dims. Your fire goes cold. And the version of you that was meant to be unstoppable dies a quiet death inside a comfortable life. So you choose, dominate or disappear. If you've made it this far, really made it word by word, breath by breath, then let me take a moment to say this: thank you. Not just for reading, but for showing up, for listening with an open heart, for being willing to sit in the fire with your doubts, your fears, your buried potential, and refusing to let them define you anymore. You didn't come here for fluff. You didn't need more pretty quotes or easy answers. You came here because something inside you is stirring, restless, hungry, unfulfilled. And if these words lit even the smallest spark inside of you, then I consider that a sacred responsibility. This wasn't just a speech. This was a mirror. And I hope you saw what I saw. Someone with the guts to grind. Someone who doesn't settle for average. Someone who might be underestimated now, but won't be forgotten later. So here's my final wish for you. Stay relentless. Not just when the fire is high, but when it fades. Not just when people cheer, but when no one notices. Keep showing up for the version of you that only you can create. Keep chasing the hard path, because that's where the real transformation lives. And when you rise, because I believe you will, don't just take the win and walk away. Reach back, lift someone else, share the hunger, build the legacy. Here's to the warriors, the misfits, the outliers, the grinders. Here's to you. Now go earn it.